kitchen. It's morning in here and I'm doing some bars, some gluten-free berry bars to one of my customers. I bake from home. That's my business. I bake different things from home, and could be gluten-free, could be anything. And that's what I do. And this is one customer that I have that is gluten-free, and I bake for her twice a week. That's what I'm doing. And I look at these bars, and these bars can be, the flour can be substituted for all-purpose flour. So if you're not gluten-free and you don't want to use this, that's fine. This is for a breakfast bar, but it can also be used for a dessert bar. So anyway, so in here I have 2 cups of frozen berries. I have blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. You use whatever you like. In here I have 1 cup of gluten-free oats, 1 cup of almond flour, 1 cup of all-purpose gluten-free flour. If you don't want to use this, just use 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Half a cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of regular sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 1 egg. And then I have butter. Also, it's in the freezer. It still needs to be chilled. So I'm going to leave it until I need it. So I'm going to take a little bit of the flour and mix with the berries, and half of the sugar and mix with the berries. And we're going to coat these berries and kind of just let them kind of start getting soft and then absorbing all that flour and that sugar. So, okay, I'm going to put that aside. And these are good bars to keep in your refrigerator. Like again, for those kids, eat the fruit, but it can also be a dessert. So in here, I'm going to add my baking powder and my cinnamon. Mix all this. I'm going to add my sugar, regular sugar, and my brown sugar. I have to come up with different ideas for, like I said, for customers. I bake breads, I bake muffins, I bake scones, and I'm always finding different ways for them to have for breakfast. So this was one thing that I came up, and it just looks so delicious. And as we go to the summer now, you know, for all the fruits and berries, and you can substitute whatever fruits you want. Doesn't have to be berries. I've made with cherries, delish, peaches, anything. So everything is all combined. I'm gonna get my butter. I have 1 cup of butter here, and what I did is I shred the butter in my box grater. And it makes it easy to combine all the butter with the flour. Versus if it was in cubes, take forever to be using the pastry cutter. And I'm gonna mix this with the flour. Try to separate as much as possible. Not making too much pressure on that butter. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with my pastry cutter. And I'm gonna kind of break that butter. You kind of want to create a crumble. That's pretty much what it is. It's a crumble. I love desserts like this because they're so easy. You bake them, you keep them in the refrigerator. If you have to go somewhere, they're done. And top it with a scoop of ice cream or a scoop of yogurt. Whatever yogurt you like, and you have a nice breakfast. You don't have to have all those stuff buy in the store that we don't know what they put in. And I like this one. Actually, I modified this recipe because this recipe was only for regular flour. but because I want a breakfast bar, I incorporate the almonds and I incorporate the oats. So I'm gonna go with my hands just a little bit. You don't want it too much because you don't want the butter to melt. You want this crumble. And I have my oven preheated at 375. And we bake this for about 30 minutes, 38 minutes. Okay, it resembles a crumble. Okay, I'm gonna take some of it aside because I want some for the topping. And then the other half is gonna go in the bottom. Press it there. Okay. Now I'm gonna beat my egg, mix the vanilla, and mix it in here. I'm gonna crack my egg in here. Always folds the shell. You don't want no shells. Okay. And then I'm gonna add my vanilla. Okay, I'm gonna make a hole in the middle, and I'm gonna put my egg. You want to mix all this, and this is going to become like a glue to bind all those ingredients so we can press it on the bottom. And I'm using a cookie sheet, a small quarter cookie sheet, but you can use whatever you like. You can actually double the recipe if you want to make this for breakfast. Sometimes we all need that little thing in the afternoon. Well, why not make a healthy choice? So I'm going to put this in the bottom of my pan. And now I spray my bottom pan with some spray. And now I just want to press all this. Spread it out so it's kind of even everywhere. You may need to use a cup. Parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, you can use wax paper. Put it on top and then go over with a cup. And this will make an even, so you have an even bottom. And you're not getting stuck in your hands too. Just pull it through, and then you want to push if there's any extra pulling up. You want to push it down. Okay. Now we put our berries. And if you wanted to make more berries, put more, whatever fruit. I didn't want too much. I wanted to kind of make it even. Okay, friends. So now we want to press those berries all into the bottom and spread them out good so there's berries everywhere. And then we're going to grab some of this crumble and just put it over. And then bake it at 375 for about 30 to 40 minutes. And if you see that it's getting too much color on the top, cover with foil. And then the last 10 minutes, take the foil off. And I press it down because again, I want all this into the bar. I don't want to lose none of that filling. Here it is. Now it's gonna bake for 40 minutes. Okay friends, my bars are done and they're cool. You want them cool completely before you cut them or do anything. So now I'm just putting some powdered sugar on top. And they smell so good. And I'm gonna cut them. And if you want, you can refrigerate them just to kind of be easier to cut them. But I'm going to cut them into little squares. I'm going to try the smallest one. Oh. If they're cool, they will taste a lot better. And if you're using this for dessert with a scoop of ice cream, oh my God. This is my kind of stuff. I love stuff like this. For breakfast, this with a dollop of whatever flavor yogurt, it is perfect. So this is what I'm going to do for my customer. I'm going to box all this and she'll keep it in the freezer and then she'll take it every morning for her and her husband. And here it is, triple berry bar, gluten-free. Doesn't have to be gluten-free, but you wouldn't even know this is gluten-free. So good, delicious. And here it is, friends, my bars for my customer, ready to go. And I hope you give it a try to these, especially as we go to the summer with any kind of fruit. The berries is perfect, but peaches, plums, anything would work out. Also, what I could have done was I could have put some walnuts in the crust, so it kind of gives you a little crunch. But anyway, there's no wrong way, right way to do this. I hope you give it a try to this recipe, and especially for the summer months. And keep it in your freezer for when you're in a bind and you want something quick to go for breakfast or even for dessert. Nobody would know the difference. So anyway, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Give me some thumbs up. Share my videos with your friends on your social media. And I appreciate for all your comments. And until next time, let's get cooking. Have a good day.